let's get into gaming stocks. I got 3 gaming stocks that have made the news. AMD, all right, raised on potential market share gains. RBC Capital Markets maintains an outperform rating for AMD and lifts the target by $10 to $63. All right, analyst Mitch Steves thinks that the PC share gains will continue to move into the mid 20% market share range, and he has higher conviction in servers through 2020 to 2021. All right, let's talk about another gaming stock, Nvidia. And you know, Nvidia and AMD and Micron all battle for that space in the gaming industry. Nvidia says, though, it's pulling Activision's games from GeForce Now streaming service. Said late Tuesday that it would be yanking Activision, Blizzard. Anybody played World of Warcraft? I played did you ever play World of Warcraft? World of Warcraft, way back in the day with VectorVest, we had a lot of people here that played World of Warcraft, but that's Blizzard. All right, it's going to pull those titles from its GeForce Now game streaming service at Activision's request. Interesting. While unfortunate, we hope to work together with Activision's Blizzard to re-enable these games and more in the future, Nvidia said in a blog post. All right, so that's the second stock in the gaming industry. And then I'm also going to go to Micron, upgraded on improving demand. Raymond James upgrades Micron from market perform to strong buy with a $70 price target. Analyst Chris Casso thinks supply-demand conditions are highly likely to improve further as the year progresses and that inventory levels are approaching normalized levels. All right, so now with that being said, let's get back into the software. Let's bring up those stocks, Nvidia, Micron, and AMD. Now, I want you to know that these stocks are sorted by our master indicator VST. Notice how these gaming stocks are toward the top of the list automatically. AMD is slightly overvalued, good upside potential, good safety, and moving up in price. Nvidia, on the other hand, a little bit more overvalued, but look at the upside potential on Nvidia. Not nearly as good as it is with AMD, but the safety is there. The stock consistently meets or exceeds their financial performance. So that means they tend to meet or exceed their earnings, and the stock is moving up in price. Now, interesting, as I look at Nvidia, look at their earnings growth rate. A 1% a year, where AMD grows their earnings at a clip of 30% a year. Micron, also overvalued. So all 3 of these stocks are overvalued. The upside potential on MU or Micron is at 49, below the value of 1. This stock should underperform even Nvidia over the longer term. The safety is there for all 3 stocks. The safety is there for all 3 stocks, and the timing is there. I just would be a little leery about Nvidia and Micron, especially because of the upside potential. But all 3 of these stocks, because they are going up in price, and also look at Micron, they got an earnings growth rate of negative 9%. So the worst out of the 3. Let's go take a look at their graphs. A couple of them would be more trades, but look at the graph on Nvidia. Good, Gordon Jim, look at that graph. All right. Nicely moving high. Where is it stopping right now? Right at a level of resistance. Right at a level of resistance. Earnings are starting to fall, but still higher than it was 3 months ago. Watch the volume. Volume is okay, starting to pull back a little bit, but look at that stock's price really moving higher. Put this on a 6-month graph. That's an excellent looking stock. That's a beautiful looking stock. Now let's compare that to MU. Notice that MU is moving higher, or Micron is moving higher, but look at the jaggicity of the equity curve. Whereas look at the less jaggicity on Nvidia. All right, so Micron, as I go back to it, watch that. Anybody know what that candlestick pattern right there is known as? That's known as a shooting star, and the stock's price has not been able to take out that high from yesterday. That was hitting a new 6-month high on Micron. That is a possible bearish reversal pattern. Look at the earnings per share. All right. Why are you saying Nvidia is reaching resistance? Where is it at? All right. So Andrea, look at where it's going. So now a high automatically creates a level of resistance, but look at where the closing prices are for the last 3 days. I want to zoom in real quick because that's a really good question, Andrea. All right. Look at the last 3 days. Look at where the wick was here. At a high price of 272.50. What's the close price here? Close price here is 270.54. What's the trading price right now? 272.69. Andrea, that is creating a level of resistance. 3 solid days where the price is right near each other. Does that make sense, Andrea? Does that make sense? So that is the reason why I say that Nvidia is reaching a level of resistance right now. Now, TradeSark says Nvidia is going higher. All right, you know me. I will never prognosticate what's going to go on with a stock. What I do is play the stock as it is. And you know something? If you want to jump on board with the stock, I'm going to tell you to put in your order 12 cents higher than the high. All right, so TradeShark, you feel that it's going to move higher? I'm not going to disagree with you, nor will I agree with you. But if you feel that way, let me help you out. Make sure you're buying into a rising stock and not just saying, well, I know it's going to go higher. Make sure you got the confirmation of the stock moving higher before you pull the trigger. Polaris says earnings today. Well, you know something? If you own the stock. Now, let's go back to Nvidia in a second. Let's go back to Nvidia in a second. The last one is AMD. I do like the move on AMD. Also at a level of resistance. I'd like to see the stock take out 12 cents higher than the high. Love the earnings per share. The volume is pretty good. Let's go back to Nvidia. Nvidia, you see what that relative safety is on it? 1.42. The stock is going to have a very high possibility of breaking through and keep moving higher. All right, because it's probably going to meet earnings. What's the thing that can stop it from moving higher? If the stock doesn't have good forward guidance. So the stock can beat earnings and still fall because of bad guidance. I don't like that the earnings growth rate is at 1%. All right, the stock is a good looking stock with the exception of the relative value, telling me that the upside potential that a AAA corporate bond most likely will outperform Nvidia over the next 1 to 3 years. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.